Hello my peeps, this is Gina. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a herringbone weave with wire. I have this bead. I didn't measure how big it was. I just thought I'd bring it out, and because it's so big I thought I'd use it as a pendant. And I got about 6 inches of bronze wire, and I'm going to stick that on the wire. It's an 18 gauge wire. And then you're going to need your flush cutters, your needle nose or flat nose, and your round nose pliers. And then I have here some 20 gauge bronze wire. I'm just going to cut off about a couple feet of it. That should be enough, I think. So let's keep going. A couple feet. That should do it. I'm thinking that should do it. Alright. Flush cut. Alright. Now, first, we're going to make a loop at the end of this. So, we're going to use our round nose pliers. And it's going to be a small loop. So I'm going to bend it off and then get the tiniest part of the round nose pliers as I can. A tiny, tiny, tiny loop. Close it up. See? Gotta close it up. All the way in there. There we go. There's our loop. And I'm going to string that down on top of this wire. And then I'm going to bring it around at least one time. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just make sure this is in the center. I should probably back this out. There. Make sure your bead is in the center of your wire here. And then we're going to take your 24 gauge, our wrapping wire, and we're going to go around the side of the bead. Gotta be nice and snug. Snug, and then wrap over the top of that core wire all the way around. And then we're going to come around to this side. Wrap tight, tight, tight. Tight as can be, and then wrap all the way around on top of the core wire. Wire's getting in the way. Alright, make sure it's in the center. There's our first wrap. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to go back behind the wire we just did. Go all the way behind. And then over the top of the core wire. Over the top. Back behind this wire, nice and snug, and over the top of the core wire. It's kind of fiddly, got all this extra wire flopping around here, but there's our 2 wraps. Now we're going to do a third wrap. Go back behind those wires we just did, back behind, over the top of the core wire, all the way around, and then back behind these wires, up to the core wire, over on top of the core wire, all the way around. There we have it. We're getting there. I'm just going to go a few more times. Can you see how it's got the herringbone look? We're going to go back behind these wires. over the top of the core wire, back behind these wires, over the top of the core wire, back behind these wires, over the top of the core wire. If you want, you can just spin it around. That helps. And then bring it back behind these wires. Always go back behind these wires. And then bring it around front on top of the core wire. All the way around, nice and tight, nice and snug. Back behind these wires, over the top of the core wire, and I think this is going to be my last wrap. Okay, back behind these wires, over the top of the core, and that is our herringbone. Let me snip that off. Snip it off. Tuck it in. There. Isn't that pretty? Just something special you could do with your beads, because this is a only single bead and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I thought I'd do this and then I'd share it with you guys what I was going to do with it. So now this I want to bend off to the back. I use my finger as a width of how long I want to make that wire. So I'm going to make a simple loop. So I'm going to snip it off, bring my round nose in. Don't want to feel it on this side. Make sure it's in there and then start rolling back. And straighten it up. Close. There's our loop. Same thing on this side. I'm going to bend it back. Use my finger as a guide as to how long I want to cut it. Snip it off. Don't feel it on the back and roll. Oops. Didn't quite have a hold of it. And roll back. And there's our loop. So now, put this on a pendant or put it on a chain and you got a nice pendant. Isn't that pretty? So I thought I'd share that with you. So if you like this video, hit like and leave me a comment if you like. I like to read the comments. And then if you really like it, you can subscribe to my channel and then ring that little bell so the next time on here, I'll be back here with you and we'll be making stuff together. So until next time, happy beading.